Good morning. Happy Monday, you guys. It is Monday, the third week of the year.
It's flying by. It's almost Christmas.
'Tis the week when most people go back to average mode. If you're watching this, you better not be.
If you're watching this, you're not average. Accept that right now and behave more and more above average.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
What we train for.
Amen. So, let's begin with some housekeeping stuff and then we'll get to today's topic.
Housekeeping. Oops, I flipped the camera around. I was just trying to knock on your door.
Okay, if you watched last Friday's interview with the winner of the 4th Raw Transformation, Miss Tanya Tucker, you probably, needed some tissues. But in all seriousness,
maybe more than once.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, it was an extremely, raw, real, and authentic interview. And once again, Tanya, thank you so much for, sharing all of the beautiful, wins, insights, successes, and just, rawness with regards to the journey and everything that you did to drop 60 pounds. But also on that interview, we had offered to sponsor one participant to the Raw Transformation Challenge. However, in order to make sure that the recipient of the scholarship is somebody who would really make the most of it and not just receive it for not doing anything or, not being a good fit. We wanted to make sure that it's going to someone who is a really good fit. Over the weekend, we had our CHO, Ashley, the Chief of Happiness Officer, along with Tanya Tucker, receive and review a bunch of videos that were sent to them. And collectively, they've decided, based on the story, who was the most deserving of a sponsorship to the scholarship to the 5th Raw Transformation. And the winner is Kirsten Tucker. The interesting thing is that Kirsten is not even related to Tanya. Same last name, Tucker.
I remember asking.
It's kind of interesting.
I was like, do you have a sister in here or somebody? Nope.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated except for by the ENS community.
So, Kirsten Tucker, if you're watching this, please drop a comment. If you're not, then if somebody on our team can, Ashley, if you can please contact her and tell her that she is the most deserving person for the Raw Scholarship coming up. That'll be amazing so that we can make sure that we get her all set up. But leading to the next segment with regards to housekeeping, the Raw Transformation Program is kicking off next Monday at 12 a.m. Pacific time. So next Monday, it's kicking off. Registration is now open to the entire public, and registration is open until Saturday. The last day to register is Saturday. Why? Because we want to make sure that you guys have at least one day to get all of your stuff to get together and to get set up before the very first lesson that will be happening on Monday afternoon. If you've been snoozing, then
you've been losing.
Then you ain't got much time to snooze. Just go ahead and take action. You can sign up for the Raw Transformation at improviesolutions.com/raw. improviesolutions.com/raw. Okay? I wanna see it in the comments. If you have already signed up, drop it. Drop a flex emoji. I'm in, baby. Should we tell them how many people are in?
If you wanted to gift a certain person the raw, how can you do it? You can send an email to admin@erinandsarit.com, and that is such a sweet gesture. We've had that happen already, which is amazing. People who even have had it gifted to them last time has gifted it to somebody else this time. Just amazing. I absolutely love all of you guys. So amazing. Look at them. Raw 2.0. Yes.
Yeah, you guys have to be in it. If you listen to this show,
Carrie's round 2.
A bunch of you guys are doing it round 2.
Heck yeah.
It's going to be even better when you do it
If people are doing it for a second round, that means the first round was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Enough for them to go again. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. 100%. I'm in. Flex emojis.
You guys are awesome.
All over. VIP. So good.
Love it.
So excited for you guys.
I wonder if anybody who registered last time on the regular registration decided to go VIP this time because you realized how much more helpful the VIP option is.
Juno ends on her 3rd round. That's right.
Wow.
Dang, girl.
That's awesome.
Worth it.
All right, shall we get to today's topic?
Let's get to today's topic.
All right.
What's today's topic? You keep scooting off the camera.
Today's topic is quitting on yourself too early, too soon. So, yesterday...
But why?
Yesterday was the last day of the TKC challenge. So, with regards to any experience in life, this is something that you should always do. And if you're not already doing so, then make a note of it because you need to start doing it. You need to start reflecting on what are the lessons that I've learned from this. Now, I know that a bunch of you guys, because this is a challenge that we've actually ran in the past, a bunch of you guys who a couple months ago were barely able to continue along with the challenge past day 3 have completed it. And it's man, there had to have been a really important shift, which we're going to talk about. But we said this 2 weeks ago, you guys. With regards to accomplishing anything in life, 90% of people will quit within the first 14 days. Why does that happen? That's the question. Why do people manage to quit within less than 14 days with regards to achieving something? Is it any wonder why society is so average? Is it any wonder why most people, feel like they want to live a bigger life, but they feel like they're just so stuck? It's all mindset. And today we're going to talk about how to break out of it, because I know that a bunch of you guys before were I couldn't do this thing for over 2 or 3 days, and this is the first time that I was able to actually do something for the first time within 14 days. For one, if that's you, then congratulations, that's awesome. Go ahead.
Well, I wrote down some ideas because I'm trying to think back, and I know that I was one of those people. I would have a very difficult time, sometimes even making it past day 1. When you commit to something, right? Okay, picture this. This is literally what I would do. Picture this. On the weekend, I would go to the grocery store and I would get a half a gallon of ice cream. Not just any ice cream. I would get sugar-free ice cream. And then I would get like some kind of candy or something that I want to put on top of it. I thought, oh, if it's sugar-free, then that means I can put something else in it and I can get more bang for my buck. Right?
I have more room to make it fun.
Yeah. But on the same conveyor belt, I would put a health or a fitness magazine, because tomorrow I'm starting and I'm going to be so motivated, and this magazine is going to help me be motivated. And really, it was just a justification for me to treat myself like a piece of shit. Like a garbage can for ice cream and other garbage.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying nobody's allowed to eat ice cream or treats or other things like that they like. But my intention was, I'm going to start tomorrow, so this is okay right now. And then when I would start the next day, it became an actual habit for me. Now we have a bigger issue. Now we have a bigger problem, because it's a habit that now I have to break. And what's difficult is that when I would get to Monday, I would start out the day strong, and I know you guys can relate to this. You've told us before, and I've shared things before, but this story is just a unique one that I don't think I've shared before. But what would happen is Monday I would start out so strong, and then, whatever, I would wake up early, I would do my cardio, I'd get on the Stairmaster, sweat, I feel good, okay, cool, I'll eat a healthy breakfast, I'm on track. All meanwhile, in the back of my mind, I'm trying to go low calories, because now I have to lose the fat that I must have gained from whatever binge I had the night before. But because I eat such low calories, or because I have a certain expectation of myself, if I don't meet that expectation, or if I go off the target that I had set for myself, which most of the time was unrealistic anyways, then I would quit. Now I ask myself why, because that's the topic. Why would I quit? For one, I didn't set myself up to succeed. For two, I set an unrealistic expectation to something that when I didn't meet, I thought I suck, I might as well just not try. Give up, quit. Because the feeling of defeat. I'm defeated. And when you feel defeated, you get down. And when you get down, you try to figure out, how do I feel better? And how do I not feel down? Well, food will make me feel better until it doesn't. Okay? So then the other one is, the other reason I thought about quitting is a feeling of extreme overwhelm. I'm overwhelmed by this thing I feel trapped in. And this is just me and my own story and my own ideas and guesses as to why people would quit. Also a lack of information. And not even just a lack of information, because we can find quote unquote information anywhere. But it's a lack of knowing how to apply the information to your own life and how it works for you. So again, feeling defeated and not wanting to continue to try. And then the last thing that I wrote down that I thought of just off the cuff was not having support. Not having somebody to reach out to who can understand you, who can encourage you, inspire you, lift you up, help you to find, the right way to apply the information or the knowledge that you have to your life, or help you to practically apply things the way that your life is structured, the way that your preferences run in your head, the way that, your family is a picky eater, whatever things you have going on in your life. How do I have somebody that's going to support me in that, and not say, hey, you want to get pizza on a Friday night, when you know what my goals are? Not encourage me to do the things that aren't going to help me move forward. So those were my initial thoughts on why do people quit on themselves so easily? And I don't believe it's because there's no fight in you. I don't believe it's because you don't have the right information. You may not understand how to apply the information so that it works for your life long term. So if you try to do it short term, well, then short term is short term, period. That means there's a quitting point.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
Well, the truth is that the reason why 90% of people, never follow through with something for even 14 days is because naturally that's what we're designed to do, you guys. Naturally, we're designed to survive. So, when something gets challenging, when something gets uncomfortable, when we feel unknown, the natural thing to do is to retreat. Because the reason why we've made it this far is because we've survived. Okay? So from an evolutionary standpoint, you will want to retreat when things get tough, when things become unknown, when you haven't done something before. And this is why, these conversations and all of our programs and everything that we teach is so important. Like if you've been, trying and, failing and trying and failing and just like yo-yoing like your ways through life, it's because naturally you're designed to do so, but mentally you have to train yourself to get outside of that. Because you can be on the best program ever, but if you're not training here, you're gonna go back to your survival mode, which will take you back to the survival place. So, if you've been like yo-yoing your efforts for months or years or decades, it doesn't matter. For one, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. And you know what? You came here for a reason. There's a quote that we go by, and it's reason, season, lifetime. And people in your life will come for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So if you're here, then there's a reason why you're here. Like you didn't join this group, you didn't get invited to this group by accident. It's because you're meant to be here. Now, what you're going to do with it, the opportunities that you're going to take are up to you. Okay? So that's one. But the reason why, like if we were to like analyze the mechanics of it, and mine are very similar to yours. Mm-hmm. I think we've just said it differently.
I think they're universal with different details.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking about we were designed to survive, is that naturally you'll want to quit when you experience pain. Why? Because pain is uncomfortable. Pain is painful. It doesn't feel good. So again, think about yourself from an evolutionary standpoint, needing to survive. Pain means that you're in danger. Okay? And our brains have developed over thousands and thousands of years. So like danger nowadays is not like danger like 1,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Remember, like we're primitive with our ways, but we live in a modern society. Okay? So when the body experiences pain, your brain thinks about it from an evolutionary standpoint, like, this is a life or death situation. And that's why it's so easy to give up, because your brain sees it as, I'm gonna die. And that's why people will do fine for the first 2 days. Day 3, I'm gonna die. I don't wanna die. Okay, I'm gonna retreat. It's the easier thing to do, right? Naturally. So you quit when you experience pain, okay? And one way to get out of it is to get clear on your goals and your why. We've said this in the TKC challenge a lot. Successful people are successful because they're more attached to their goals and where they want to get than to their emotions or their feelings.
Or the pain they experience on the way to the goal.
Right. And that is why it is so important to know why you're doing it and to understand the mechanics of goal setting, because otherwise, when danger, when discomfort is going to, come face to face with you, naturally, you're designed to retreat. So what are you going to be more likely to do? Retreat.
I was thinking about it. You were saying like, most people give up on whatever they start within the first 14 days.
Yep.
and I would say part of that has to do because of a lack of clarity, right? Like you were just saying, right? If we're not clear on where we're going, it's easy to quit because there's no clearly defined thing that we're trying to achieve. So why would we go through the pain to achieve what we don't even know we want to achieve? And you might know in the back of your head, but that's different than putting something concrete down on a piece of paper with details. If you're in the raw, that's what we're going to go through in the very first week. We got to get clear. Now, you mentioned like people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And this is totally just a side note, but you're here for a reason, like Sarit said. Some of you will be here for a season. Some of you won't stick with us forever. There's been people who've come into our community. They've been big parts of our community. And for some reason or another, it no longer aligns with them. And that's okay. And they exit. Fine. It is important for you to find what is best for you and where you're at and what you want. Now, some of you are going to be with us for a lifetime. Can I see a holla at you, girl, in the chat? If you're watching this on Facebook, if you're in Clubhouse, we love all you guys. If you're here for a lifetime, let's go. Now, when we talk about survive, I think about getting chased by a lion. I'm like, what is it?
Yeah.
Like, what would be happening for me to feel like, oh, I'm just trying to survive? I'm like, well, if you're getting chased by a lion, it's a sprint. Like you put everything you have for a short period of time with the expectation that there will be an end soon. So if we're thinking about a weight loss goal as a sprint and there's an end, then there is no sustainability because there's an end. So it's a simple shift in perspective to think that there is no end. The end is when my life comes to an end. That is the end. And at that point, to you, it no longer matters because you're not here anymore. And I don't mean to be morbid, but that is the literal truth. But if you consider it to be a marathon, you don't expect yourself, for one, to be perfect, for take every single step accurately, to never step on a pebble, to never trip on a stick,
to never get a muscle cramp,
to never feel like you want to walk for a second instead of keep running,
to never stop at the hydration station,
to never have to take a poop, to never pee your pants, to never, like, there's all these things that you just kind of expect when you go into a marathon. I mean, if you haven't done it, I haven't done it, but these are things I've heard and could imagine. Mm-hmm. You know, and if you go into your goals with the expectation that shit's going to go sideways, it's not going to be perfect, I'm not going to be perfect, I'm going to have to shit at some point, hopefully not in my pants, but if it happens, that's why we have showers. I'm grateful for showers. You know, and all these things are possibilities along the way. And if you accept that and you understand that, then you are okay when that happens and you don't have to feel like, oh, this is my quitting point. This is my stopping point. Because you know that those things are going to happen. Just part of the process. That's part of life. Life isn't fair. Life isn't perfect. Life isn't always comfortable. Rarely is it comfortable, especially if you're trying to be a high performer, especially if you're trying to be extraordinary, especially if you're trying to surpass average by large degrees. Things are hard. But when you can accept that they're hard, you become accepting of them. And instead of wanting to quit when you reach every hard moment, you begin to ask yourself, okay, how do I just get through this one? How do I climb my way over this log?
Can I give an analogy?
Yeah, please.
Because you were using the chasing being chased by a lion.
Yeah.
Think about it. Instead of being chased by a lion, that's what mainstream weight loss industry teaches you. lost 80 pounds in 20 days.
I cut off my left leg, and that's how I did it.
Instead of being chased by a lion, think about it as coexisting with a tiger like Tiger King. Hashtag like Tiger King.
I haven't even watched Tiger King.
I didn't either, but like...
Is that what it's called?
I know that, like, he lives with a freaking tiger.
Is that what it's actually called?
The show?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiger King.
Oh, I don't know.
He lives with a tiger. It's like, it's about coexisting with that demon. But is it a demon? Or is it an opportunity?
Or can you make it your friend?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
But first you have to
Don't-
believe it is.
Don't get chased by, coexist with. Okay, so that's point number one. Okay. Point number two is that, look, if you came to our group, chances are that, like, this is not your first stop. This is your last stop. Okay? Which means that you've probably, like, yo-yoed for, like, anywhere between months to decades. Now, I would love it, for those of you guys who are watching on Facebook Live, if you can just drop it in the comments and tell us how long have you been yo-yoing your efforts until you came here.
And while they're doing that, Catherine said, didn't Tiger Dude die? I consider. Did he? If he did, is our point invalid? No. If your goals are worth reaching, you're willing to die for them. Let's talk about Steve Irwin for a second.
I don't know what that is.
He's the crocodile hunter.
Oh.
Did you remember? Oh, he's an angry one. Yeah, because you're poking him with a fucking stick. I would be angry too. But he died. I don't remember how. It was like a stingray or something, maybe. I don't know. There's probably
a million. Crocodile.
There's probably a million different things. I don't know. Look on Wikipedia. That's probably accurate. But he loved what he was doing. He was willing for his goals. He was willing to risk his life because it meant that much to him. Now, I'm not saying you have to be willing to die for the results that you want. But what I will say is that when you are, you're going to make that shit happen. Or you're going to die trying. Mm-hmm. And at least you'll die knowing you were on a mission for something. You were on a mission to succeed. Now that's really extreme, right? That's like the most extreme you could get. But you're willing to go through the crap. You're willing to trip on things. You're willing for it to be hard. You're willing to run into the discomfort. I'm not talking to, oops, bang, I ran into discomfort. I'm talking about I see discomfort and I'm running into it.
This is good because I'm about to talk about that exactly what you're saying here.
And I said the other day, so we're on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. And we are going to do it or we are going to die trying.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, we're seeing the comments. For those of you guys who are listening on Clubhouse, I'm just going to share, you know, some of these comments just to, like, bring it in. But it looks like on average, you guys have been, like, you know, yo-yoing for, like, 15 years. 20 years plus, decades.
40 years.
25 years before finding ENS. 40 years.
I think it's, oh, there we go. Yeah.
Solid 15 years, 30 years. Like,
it's crazy.
Right? It's like all you knew, think about it,
10 to 15 years.
It is you're like, I know that I'm unhappy. I want to do something about it. It doesn't work. So then I give up. Because naturally, when things get uncomfortable, we retreat. Okay. So we talked about that point already. But, you know, if you've been trying and been yo-yoing your efforts for so long, imagine what your level of belief in yourself is. So it's like if there was a lid to your belief in yourself that you would have that you can accomplish this, when you're like tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like I have full faith that I'm going to get to my ultimate body goal.
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind it's happening. Right? Like it's already happened. I'm at a 10.
Yeah. Versus 1, I'm gonna try it again, but shit, like what's gonna be different about it? And maybe that's why a bunch of you guys are so skeptical initially when you come to our group, or when we, tell you guys join the raw, and you're like, but what's gonna be different about it? And then you see that everybody else is doing it, so you're like, okay, well maybe I should too.
100%.
But it has, it's because all you know in this present moment is what you've experienced. You don't know anything different because you haven't been there. Okay? So with regards to a situation like that, the only way for you to, increase your belief in yourself is to lean into opportunities and to lean into your fears. So for example, if you've been considering the raw transformation, and you've kind of like been sitting on the fence, or maybe you're hearing about it for the first time, lean into it.
Yeah.
Lean into opportunities, lean into your fears, because this is the only way that you're going to grow. Weight loss is problem solving.
Mm-hmm. Every time we fail trying to reach the same result, like the level of belief just goes down a notch. Just keeps going down, especially when you tried something new. You're like, tried this thing, didn't work. Okay, well, I'm gonna try something new because at least I have a shot now, right? So it's not like your level of belief just plummets. You're like, the first time, right? You try, boom. Let's just for an example, let's just call it keto. I did keto. Let's go back a little ways, actually. Let's go with Atkins. Boom, tried it. Didn't follow through. My level of belief, maybe it's not for me. You're still kind of up here, right? But you're like, okay, well, you're logical enough to think like, let me try something new. Okay. So then you try paleo. Still not. Then you try keto. Still not. Then you try Whole30. Still not. Then you try Weight Watchers. Still not. Then you try whatever. And you're like, I've had some degree of success in each of these, but I've always gone back to where I started or worse. So the level of belief as you try more and more things just keeps dropping. And you're like, well, nothing, like you get to a point where like, you might not verbalize it to yourself, but in your subconscious, you're like, nothing's going to work for me. No wonder you won't put any money into any programs, because you don't believe it's going to work for you. Somebody the other day said, oh, I only do the free things. I only do the free programs. I'm like, is it any wonder why you don't get results? You're always trying to do it by yourself. It doesn't work. And I'm not saying you have to spend your entire life savings. But what I'm saying is that if it's the right thing, then it would be, for one, you have to open your mind to like, am I going to quit or am I going to keep trying? And if I keep trying this certain way, something's got to change. Maybe it's not the method in which I use. Maybe it's the people that I'm surrounded by that need to change. Maybe it's the coaches that I have that need to change. Maybe it's the mindset that I have that needs to change. Maybe, and you have to change something, but what I'm saying is that when you really want to get to a goal, you're going to keep trying no matter what.
Yeah.
Now, our goal is to raise the level of belief in yourself by teaching you, here's one way that you can get some immediate kind of result. That's why the people who are in our Inner Circle program, like so many of the people I chatted with before they went into that program, I can't do this because I don't have enough time. It's not the right time. It's a lot of money. It's, I've tried so many things before already. I don't follow through with stuff. So, I'm afraid to waste money. And then we get them in. Thank you for believing in us and trusting us with your goals. But what happens is we pick the lowest hanging fruit. Boom. What is going to be the least overwhelming thing for you to change right now, but make a big impact? and prove to you this time it's going to be different.
Other than leaning into your fears, something else that you have to do if you want to be successful, especially if you went back and forth, tried for so many times, is leaning into a mentor who believes in you more than you believe in yourself. Because what you do is that you borrow their belief. How many of you guys in the inner circle or any of our programs, when you first started your
Even
belief
the Raw.
system, yes,
Even the Raw
of
is
course.
epic. Like, let's get you some good wins so you can believe in yourself again.
This is why you want mentors, because your mentors have been there, done that. And for two, because they've been there, done that, they know where you're coming from. They believe in you. You just need to lean into them. So if you're in the inner circle, I tell you, Vox me every day. Lean into my belief in you, even if you had a bad day. But naturally, when we don't believe in ourselves, when we, treated ourselves like shit, we want to hide. That's you going back to your own ways. That's you going back to retreat mode, which is what naturally you want to do. It's like you don't want to be seen because being seen puts you on the spot. Right? So it's like you have no way out. But with belief, you have to borrow it for quite some time. And you have to lean into things that are uncomfortable to get through them. So it works this way. I borrow belief because I don't believe that I can do this small thing. I do it. Oh my gosh. My belief in myself went up just a little bit higher. Okay, but this is uncomfortable because I'm now in a new water and I've never swam there before. Okay, I'm going to borrow some belief. I'm going to lean into it. My belief system is going to go up. Okay, now I'm going to borrow a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to lean into my fears and it's going to go up. And that's why we always say it never gets easier. You just keep getting better because over time it becomes a habit. And whenever you feel this fear, whenever you feel this discomfort, you're like, you know what? Is it actually bad? Or is it just uncomfortable and that's the story that I'm creating in my way? Is it bad or is that actually an opportunity for me to be better?
Your level of belief is determined by the experiences you have personally had in life.
Yes.
Your level of belief is determined by your own life experiences, not by what is possible, but by your own experience. This is why this is why we do our best to surround ourselves with people who are much further along in their journey because they raise our level of belief.
Yep.
By hearing their stories, by hanging out with them. Grant Cardone, Jared Glant, Brandon Dawson, David Bainge, Dave Robards, Ben Oberg, all these people that, man, I wish there was more ladies in that.
It's a shame. But again,
it's shame.
Because ladies, and this is, we're going to transition into that.
I want to finish my thought.
Yeah,
I want to finish my thought. But we surround ourselves with these people because we hear their stories, we hear about their lives, we see how they live their current life, and we hear about how they were where we are, and even where we were.
And the impact they've made.
And where they are now, our level of belief goes up. We're borrowing belief until we get to a new stage. When we get to that stage, we realize, wow, shit, we're actually capable of more. But I've got to see somebody else who's doing it. I've got to be close to them. You can't just know. You can look at Tony Robbins and be like, oh, yeah, he just woke up and was so smart when he came out of the womb. And, he just probably was just easy for him. I bet you if you became friends with Tony Robbins and you heard his story and the shit that he went through and experienced, that you would realize he was where you are. And
Probably worse.
And it raises your level of belief, right? And so stay close to it. That's why I'm like, you paid for our programs. We're about to have a live event. It's $3,000 per ticket. Some of you are going to be like, you're out of your damn minds. I'm like, yeah, well, the closer you get to us, and I understand not everybody will be able to financially do that. I get that. But that's also why we have so many free things. So don't cry about it. The closer you can find your way and make your way to the people who are succeeding at higher degrees than you have or could have even imagined, the more you will believe in yourself to be able to do the same thing.
Proximity is power.
Proximity is power.
And that's why we're moving next month.
And we invest a lot of money. Don't get us wrong. We invest a lot of money to put ourselves in front of these people. And we didn't start there. We weren't able to do that a couple years ago. We had to figure out a way to get there. So it's just a matter about like, you know, how bad do you want to achieve something? What's your level of belief in yourself? Who can increase your level of belief that you have the ability to get yourself around at whatever stage you're at right now?
Yep.
Find the next level up. Find a way to get around those people. Maybe it's just somebody in your neighborhood right now. Maybe you're like, man, I don't have $3,000 to come to a live event with you guys. Maybe it's just somebody in your neighborhood that you are inspired by because they're doing, you know, you see them outside, they're jogging every day, they look really healthy, their family looks really happy. Befriend them. Mm-hmm. Become friends with them. Get to know them. Hang out with them. See how they live. Learn their story. Where were they at? Like, it doesn't have to cost you money, but the higher you go, it will. But you make your way there, right? You earn your way there by putting in the work. And it's also a great way to not quit on yourself. Because when you surround yourself with those kind of people, they will hold you accountable. They will tell you the truth, even when the truth is not the easiest thing to hear or what they know that you probably don't want to necessarily hear. They will tell you anyways because they are more concerned for your success than they are for your feelings at the moment. Find those people and do everything that you can to spend as much time as possible with them. Whoever that is.
Yep. And the other point is, the reason why you quit on yourself so soon is because when you come face to face with an unknown, the natural thing to do is to not lean into it. Again, because your belief system in yourself is lower and because naturally we're designed to retreat. So like, for example, for those people who are in the inner circle, I want to give like a huge shout out to Melanie G. You know, for day 5, right? A bunch of you guys did that. But
what was day 5?
Day 5 was the 200 burpees. We told you guys it was going to be a separator. A bunch of people were going to quit on it. Why? Because if you've never done anything close to that sort, you're like 200 burpees. Like, how the heck am I going to do that? Mm-hmm. So you're like, okay, I'm not going to do it. You know? So she actually had the courage to tell me, I'm working with her one-on-one, I didn't do the 200 burpees. I just couldn't wrap my head around it because I've never done something like not even close to that. Totally understand. So this is what I told her. I was like, all right. It's like, you know what you're going to do tomorrow? You're going to lean into your fears and you're going to do the 200 burpees. I don't care if you didn't do it on that given day. This is about you raising your own belief level. Because mark my word, if you went into it, obviously she quit on herself. If you went into it quitting on yourself because you didn't believe that you could do it because you've never done it before, and then you would have accomplished it, what do you think that's going to do to your level of confidence? And what do you think that's going to do, most importantly, to the momentum that you've already built? Momentum plus confidence, forget about it. You've got momentum, good momentum going. You add more confidence to it, you're now going to get even more momentum at a faster rate. No doubt. Because you believe in yourself more. So I told her, I was like, you're going to do it tomorrow, and you're going to tell me when you've finished it. And I told her, I don't care how you break it up. You can even break it up into 10 sets of 20. Do 20 every hour. She ended up doing it. And she has shown up so much. She completed the Transformation Kickstarter challenge, and you know, when she did it a couple months ago, she's like I gave up after day 2. So like, it's not that the elements were any different. The only thing that will make you keep going longer is what's between your ears. And that's how you get better results. Weight loss is problem solving. It's problem solving to get your body a certain way, but the only way to do that is to learn how to manipulate this when the road gets tough. Because your body follows. Your body follows. Your body is the greatest machine ever. The reason why you haven't gone to where you've gotten yet is because you don't believe that you can. You haven't been consistent enough. You don't have the systems and the structure to get you to be more consistent, and you don't have the support to increase your belief in yourself when you haven't done that yet. It's that simple. It's problem solving. And that's why for those of you guys who've achieved massive results so far, you're like, man, I can't believe I used to overcomplicate it. It's the easiest thing ever. And man, that's a good feeling, because every day when you wake up, you feel at peace. And you also feel confident, because you're like, if I've accomplished this when I came in my own way for so many years, what else am I in my way of?
Belief.
Yep. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you learn to control this thing called your body, I guarantee you that you have an opportunity to accomplish whatever it is that you want in life. But I guarantee you is that if you are struggling with your body, or if you're just feeling meh about your body, you've got a long way to go.
The 200 burpee challenge is a challenge for some, is a challenge for most physically, but is a challenge for everyone mentally. Nicole Miller and myself can do 200 burpees in less than 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be like, oh my God, it's so easy for you. But do you know how many times I'm like, fuck, in the middle of 200 burpees? It's not like, you're doing literally the same repetitive, uncomfortable, I'm sweaty, I'm tired, my knees kind of hurt movements. Even for 15 minutes straight, even if 200 burpees in 15 minutes is really fucking fast, in your mind, you're like, oh my God. It's still extremely uncomfortable. It's really, especially because we're trying to do it fast. But it's extremely uncomfortable mentally. It doesn't matter. That challenge, yes, physically tiring, but the goal is mental resilience. The more times you have to use your mind to fight your way through a difficult experience, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
The better you get at it. And then it goes to everything in life. Al-anima.
Everybody say hello to my mom.
Neshikot.
But you know, it's the truth. And that's why, like, when you see somebody's before and after, like, it's inspiring, but it ends there. What's even more inspiring is the story that got the person there. Like, all the struggles that they have to overcome, all of the obstacles that they've risen above. That is the most inspiring part. Yeah, it's cool to go from 200 pounds to 130. It's really cool. But what's really touching and inspiring and empowering is hearing the stories of, this is what I had to learn and overcome and who I had to become in order to get there.
The obstacles.
Everybody wants that byproduct, but not everybody is willing to persevere and do whatever it takes when they face an obstacle. But if you don't learn to overcome these obstacles, you're always going to go back to retreat mode. You're always going to go back to retreat mode. So remember this. If you are not at a level where you 100% wholeheartedly believe in yourself, you have to lean in to mentorship. You have to. I'm thinking about our team members. The reason why, for one, they're now on our team, and the reason why they've accomplished so much with regards to their, you know, weight loss journey at a remarkably fast rate is because they leaned like it was no other. And they will tell you to do the same thing. And that's why, if you're ever, like, if you do the raw transformation and you're in VIP, or if you're in the inner circle, we are like, lean in, lean in, lean in, messages daily. Why? Because we're like, take my confidence, take my confidence, take my confidence, because you need it, you need it, you need it. You don't have it right now, but the more you do it, the more you're going to borrow it, the more of it you're going to have, the sooner you will become. It's not about how you feel right now. It's about what you're willing to do in order to get there. Okay? So you have to borrow confidence at a substantial degree until you have it. And when you do, I recommend that you still seek out mentorship, because otherwise it's easy for us to get comfortable because we don't know what we don't know, and naturally we're designed to stay comfortable. And by the way, you guys, whatever it is that we're telling you, we're applying to our own lives. So, like, for example, 2020, we've achieved great things. Are we just going to stay comfortable? We only helped 20,000 people. We've got millions. So we got to reach up even more. Now get me closer to the source.
And can I give an example too? Because,
yeah,
you know, in 2020, we seriously had to pivot. We had a choice. Everybody has had a choice in this crazy, crazy time that's been so difficult, you know, and, you know, initially the way our business was set up, like, you know, we could have crumbled. We could have crumbled, but we chose to pivot and say, where is the need? What problem needs to be solved in this community right now? And how can we help? Somebody had the audacity to say, oh, you're trying to make a buck on the pandemic? You can go fuck yourself. And I was like, excuse me, we're trying to fill a gap and solve a problem. And if you want to see it as us trying to make a buck off of it, that's on you. But the bottom line is that shitstorm went down. We had a choice. We could have kept trying to do what we were doing, failed miserably, or we could have pivoted and been like, shit, we got to do some things differently, or this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. So we pivoted. Boom. Born was the Rise Above 14-day program. We still give it away for free. Great. Yeah, guess what? There's some upsells on the back end of it so we can pay for the advertisements that we get it to the world in. We're solving problems, but it's not the problem. That's not the point. The point is that when shit goes sideways, you have a choice. Is the path I'm on right now going to get me to the destination I'm determined to get to, or do I need to pivot and find a different route? Oh shit. I'm trying to drive to a certain destination and it looks like there's been a flood that's blocked off the road that I knew I needed to take to get there. Uh-oh. I can try to drive through and I can drown. Fail. Oh my gosh, woe is me. There was a flood in the middle of the street and I couldn't get there. Or I can look on the GPS and reroute myself. How else can I get there? Don't quit. Ask yourself, how else can I possibly get there? But when it doesn't mean enough to you, quitting is just an easier option.
Yep, retreat mode. Because that's what we're designed to do.
And guess what? If I ask for your money, it's because I believe I deserve it. It's because I believe the problem that we are going to solve is worth even more than what I'm asking.
Yep.
And I don't feel bad one bit about it.
Yep. Absolutely. So, whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, if you don't currently believe that you can, then that's where the problem begins. However, Grant says this thing. He's like, whatever question you have, somebody somewhere has an answer for it. But it's up to you to get to that person and to reach up to them so that you can find the answer. Now, here's the thing with regards to finding the answer. So many of you guys get wrapped up by just tell me the answer.
Tell me what to do. Tell me exactly.
That's one thing. But the bigger thing is when you're given the answer, how willing are you to persevere while you're finding it in your own way? Because we will give you the answer, but you have to apply it to your own life.
The answers that we discover on our own are the answers that stick with us the most. If you touch a hot stove and now you burn your fingers, what you just learned and discovered on your own is going to be greater than somebody saying, hey, don't touch the stove because it's hot. It doesn't mean anything to you until you experience it. The experience, the struggle is all necessary. Because you remember.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
So, whatever it is that you need to solve or rise above, it can be done. But the real question is that are you willing to get out of your own way? And the reason why we tell you guys these things is because I know that with my own mission and goals, the biggest thing that's standing in my way is myself. And that's why I do everything that I can to get pulled up by others. Because when the unknown hits, it's easy for doubt to creep in. It's easy for overwhelm to creep in. That's natural. But how are you going to rise above it? Remember, the most limited resource that we have in life is time. So if you want better results, you need to reach up to somebody who knows the answer and just borrow their belief and their confidence as you're going through this discomfort. And when you go through discomfort long enough, that level of discomfort is no longer uncomfortable. But you reach a new level of discomfort. Yeah. And that's why too, when it comes to weight loss, so many people who started like dropping like a good amount of weight, like just start getting comfortable, and within like a couple of months or years, they get back to where they were before. Because they get too comfortable in their own current belief system. No, dude. Every day, it's up to you to do this. You stay comfortable, you will have more zeros. That shit's
I'm like, what does this mean?
That shit's going to accumulate. The compound effect. Within one day, you won't notice much difference. Within 10 days, probably not much either. Within 100 days, maybe, most likely. Within 1,000 days,
definitely. Your
entire life will look different, for better or for worse. So get out of your own way and reach up. And if you're really serious about it, then disregard your emotions. Focus on your goals and sacrifice whatever you have to sacrifice in order to get there. That's it. That's the shit that I tell myself.
It's not about avoiding problems or struggles. It's about knowing you're going to run into them and asking yourself, how do I get through it? Mm-hmm. That's how you learn.
Yep. And that does it for today, you guys. We hope that you found value from today's conversation. If you did, do us a favor and share it with somebody that you know who will benefit from it too.
If you are interested in any of the programs that were like tossed around today, Inner Circle, Raw Transformation, I think those were the two we tossed around, or anything else that we do, just send an email to admin@erinsarit.com. Conversation is free for you to open.
Yeah.
But doesn't hold you obligated to commit to anything. So we love you guys so much. Thank you for all of the shares that you guys do every week. Thank you for all of the likes, all the love. I see the hearts and the thumbs and the things coming.
I want to give a couple of shout outs. Last week we had 2 of you guys who have invited a ton of people to our community, and we're so happy and grateful. Tanya Tucker, you're one of them. You even talked about it on the live. Liz Martini.
Liz crushed.
Liz, like you went bonkers. Thank you so much.
Tanya said, Facebook doesn't let me invite as many people as I want to invite at one time.
You guys are awesome.
You can try from a phone and you can try from a computer. Maybe it will be different. I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you found extreme value in today's episode. If you did, please share, like, subscribe, and do all the things. I'm serious. Hit the button. I think it's right here. Subscribe. I'm not
somewhere.
Sure. Anyways, thank you. And we will see you guys tomorrow. If you have questions, please submit them in the questions form on the announcements section of the page.
By the way, this week...
Every time I'm ending this, you have something else to say.
I know, I just remembered.
I'll let you end it.
This week, we might have a lot of surprises for you on the page. So if you haven't already turned on your notifications for when either ourselves or one of our team members hops on, then I urge you to do so, because you won't want to miss out on all of the things that we have coming up for you guys this week. It's going to be epic. I'm not going to reveal any other information because we're going to keep it exciting, but turn on your notifications so that you can stay up to date with what's going on and really enjoy the magic of this group. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.